This is Midrash Tanchuma, Parshat Behaalotcha, entitled A Menorah for Those Who Can't See in the Dark. So I hope by now there's an appreciation of the tremendous creativity that the Midrash brings in its perspective on the Parsha. Here you have a Parsha about building menorah, and the Midrash sort of has the chutzpah to sort of ask the obvious question: why do we need a menorah? God has His own light. Why, God is the source of all light. What does it even mean that we're actually putting a menorah in the Mishkan and lighting a menorah? What's happening here? So the Medrash sums this up with a few words. HaKadosh Baruch Hu shekulo ora tzarich ora bishelcha. God, who is the source of all light, needs your light. Can you imagine asking such a question? So the Medrash, of course, answers the question. Well, first, the Medrash strengthens the question. It says that we human beings have, our eyeballs have a little black dot in the middle and it's white around it, and we only can see out of that black portion. We can't see out of the white portion. And the Medrash sort of takes that to mean, metaphorically, that there's a tremendous limitation that human beings have in terms of seeing. We can only see or appreciate goodness if we're in a situation where it's dark. And otherwise, that's the metaphor of the light and dark of the eye. In other words, when things are all good, it's very hard to appreciate good. But only in dark times, in other words, only that black middle part of the eyeball, that's how we perceive anything. From within the darkness, we can see the light. So it's another tremendous limitation. So again, it's begging the question, why do we even have a menorah? If God is the source of all light, and God, since God is beyond time and place, God does not have this limitation. God could always see what will be and what was, and there's no such thing as, having to judge something within darkness, because God sees the whole, the beginning and the end of time. So there is no such thing as dark times and better times. So the Medrash comes along with a beautiful parable to sort of answer what, in effect, is the real reason why the Torah continues to ask us, even though that's perhaps not logical, why did the Torah ask us to light this menorah? And it tells this beautiful parable of a king who had a friend, and the king said to his friend, I want to dine at your house. And the person said, wow, okay, amazing, you want to come? Yes. And so the king sent an advance team and brought some articles, some beautiful candelabras and things just to, for a setting in the room. And the person who maybe had furniture from IKEA was very, very embarrassed. So he hid all his furniture. So when the king showed up, he said, what's going on here? How can we dine together? I said, your furniture is gone. He said, well, I was a little embarrassed of my furniture when I saw the beautiful things that your advance team were bringing. And the king said, no, I insist on using your furniture. Everything that you have, it's fine. I don't need to be dining with only my furniture. And it was showing, the love of in this relationship between the king and his friend. And the king did not let anything get in the way in terms of the fact that he could, only dine in a place with complete elegance to his standards. That is not the case. And the same thing is true. Hashem wants us to bring in the menorah that, was constructed, and not worry about the fact that God is the source of all light. There's one more piece in the Medrash which can shed light, no pun intended, on what we're talking about here, and that is the fact that, as we all know, Moshe had trouble building the menorah because it had to be made from one solid block of gold, and he needed to understand what it looks like. And of course, there is one version in the Medrash that we all had learned as kids, that it was made by Bezalel, but there's another version that says that at one point, since Moshe was frustrated, God said, look, just throw the raw gold in the fire, and out will come your menorah. And I believe what this is saying and what the parable is saying is at the end of the day, God is saying, it's true, I am the source of light. And if you wanted to be a stickler for logic, you would say there's no reason why I would want man's light and why I want mankind to take a menorah, fashion it, or put it into the what's now the Mishkan, later be the Beit HaMikdash. But I believe the essential message here is God is saying, I need you. This is a partnership. You are the ambassadors that I need to spread my light to the world. So this is the reason why I am asking you to work on this menorah and to place it into the tabernacle, into the Mishkan, because again, as I said, it's a partnership and we need to spread God's light. I think that is one of the essential messages that the Medrash is doing from its very creative and innovative starting place of asking what purpose is there at all for man's light in a space where God's light already is. Okay, have a great Shabbat.